So we have seen the importance of input-output system by understanding what is a file and how does that take place a vital role in our operating system, because we people don't believe those things and we just don't care about them. But file, folder, they are very related to our same Python terminology. Just make it very simple. Now we'll try to understand the different methods or modes for opening a file, writing content into a file or data into a file, close the file. That's where we will be working on read, write, append, create, along with the plus modes R plus, W plus, A plus also, right? First, let's try to create a file automatically in a single line. That's where write function or write method will be useful, and for that we'll be using our built-in function open, because open function takes mainly multiple parameters where the main things are to be given are file name and mode. Okay, enough of talking, right? Let's go for the execution part. Now what do I do is I just go with the same file. Make sure that you are in same location. I mean, you are in desktop location. You need not give the path again. So I'll go for a is equal to open off. Whenever you write built-in function, that will be in violet color, right? So open off, it expects for your file name, and the mode is default is read mode, and encoding format we did not worry about it. See, open file and return a stream, raise OS error upon the failure. So I will be creating a text file automatically. We'll be seeing whether why can't we create a doc file or any other format. But first let's create a text file name saket.txt by using the first important mode of operation is W mode. When I go for W mode, what does it happens? It is basically write data into a file, and it clearly makes sure that it will automatically create a file. It will automatically create a file and override previous content. That is very, very important. That point should be noted, overriding the previous content. So anyways, there is, let me see if there is any file named saket.txt first. I think there is only one folder, right? It's fine then. So you'll understand, if you have any other file renamed, the previous content will be removed. So first make sure you are creating automatically a single file. So I given the mode as W, always give in quotations only. When you click on run, there you go. The file is successfully executed because there is nothing to be printed. If you want something to be printed over there, you give print of A, you get the result in the format of a wrapper. That's where you see a text wrapper. What is the file name? Saket.txt. What is the mode? And as we are using Windows, that is CP1252. Generally, if you are trying to work on Mac or Linux based system, the format is UTF-8, right? It's very simple. That means in our desktop location, there should be a text file created with saket.txt name. It should be, right? Yes. Let's go and check it out. There you go. You see, with single line of code, we can automatically create a text file. That is the beauty of Python. And you have just given open A is equal to open of. You gave the file name and you have given. It's as simple as it is. You need not worry, right? So once you have created text file, now write some data into it. Write data into it. How do you do that? You just need to go for a dot. The function to be written over there is write. So you just need to give a dot write off. It expects only text. So first let me give, hey, how are you? We'll be seeing some different ways now. So once I give, hey, how are you? This is the text which I am trying to give. And when you save it, you are expecting that this text should be written into the file. Okay, there you go. When you click on run and execute, you see, successful. Let's see whether it is done or not. Okay, first check the memory. The memory is, if it is greater than 0 bytes, no, it is 0 bytes only. That means there is nothing created. Why? Always remember, when you create a text file, never ever forget to close the file. That's where, simple, when you are writing a document in Word doc, if your power is shut down, it is not automatically saved, right? Yes, that is the reason it expects for you to close the file, a.close. Now you see the result, a.close, click on run, and you should see some content into the file. What is the content? hey, how are you? Let me just minimize this. There you go. You see? Wonderful. You got the result. Hey, how are you? You can clearly observe because we have given open of write mode. What happens if I change the content? I'll give hi Saket. Hope you are doing good. Because when I said write mode, what does it mean? The previous content should be overridden and automatically the file is already created. It doesn't throw in any error. Let me just cross check it. There you go. Successfully executed. That means the previous content should be overridden. Bingo. You see? Always make sure don't ever, whenever you open the file, you can see notepad, opening there. People hit on opening the same file. Just always keep the files closed. It will be easy. So write mode, you can see the previous content is overridden. So that is how you have seen how to create a file and write the content into it and close the file. My question is, why can't I give my list tuple, whatever it is, any container? Okay. Now let's try with that, whether it is possible or not, and then we'll understand what should be done to read the format. So I'll just create one more file named d is equal to open of any file name. I'll just give the file name as sum.txt. To create a file, you can use W mode. Next, we'll be going for append mode and create mode. But as of now, let's see. I have a list here. My list is b is equal to consisting of some numbers along with some strings. Okay, there you go. Along with some strings in the sense, let's make it plural. Fine. Now, what I'll try to do, I gave b is equal to a list, and what we need to try to do, I just give d dot. It expects you to write off b. Okay, then close the file. What is the file? D dot close, save, and let me execute this. Oh God, what did we get here? Write argument must be string, not a list. That means whatever container you take, whether you take any container, that can be list, tuple, set or dictionary, whatever you can take. Just you need to make some changes here. List, tuple, set or dictionary, you cannot directly run it because you need to make sure that you change this format to and changing it in the format of type conversion, that is write of str of b, because it is clearly expecting only string format. Now you see, click on run. Good. That means successfully it is executed, where when you go to the location and see the file, it will be having the content. Bingo. You see, whatever list you gave, you can clearly see the content in it. That's where you will use write of str, that is type conversions, right? So, is there any other way? Yes, obviously. Suppose your container is having only strings. I mean, what I try to do is, I just copy this, or let me just create one more file, or instead let's copy all these text. Let's comment all these text. Let's try to override the same content where my list is consisting of some names like Humpty, funny names, Humpty, Dumpty. You can write your own names, Humpty, Dumpty, Bunty, Chintu. Let's write these names, some funny names. Okay, these are all strings inside a list. Now, let me try it like this. D dot write of f, and let me give d dot close. So, save and click on run. Oh God, again type error, write argument must be a string. What do you mean by that? Because this is not a string. So, clearly you need not again go for str of f, but you can use one shortcut method or function where you can go for write lines, where you can write line by line. This will only work when your list or any container is having only same type. If it is having same type, that is only strings, because that's a text data, right? Let me prove it. So when I go for execution point, it should execute. Bingo, you got it executed. Let's go for the file. You see, that is side by side. That's where you can see that list of text, that is strings, have been converted to text format, and you can see the content updated into it. That's where write mode plays a very vital role. Even if you try to do it, if you want to give /n, that means that will go to new line. You see, now let me save and run it again. The content will be overridden. Just minimize this and go to your location and open the file. You see, Humpty Dumpty are in new lines and Bunty Chintu are in same line, because that is where you have given it as /n. So write lines will make sure that if your text is having, if your container is having same type of data, it is done. So that is where you can directly create a file by using write mode. Now, whenever you are using write mode, what is happening over there? You can clearly see the previous content is being overridden, right? What if I want to save the content? Where you go for append mode. That means you just save it as A. You just make it the format of A, where it will, that is nothing but append mode is given by A. Always believe one thing. Open off your file, give the mode and write the content, close the file. There is nothing right dot append or anything. Just it will add, when you add the mode as append with some quotations as A, it will add content to the previous file. That is very, very important. It will append the data to the file. If you remember, when you are discussing about list, what happened? The content will be added to the end of the list, right? The same way, it will add data to the file by not removing the previous file. By not removing the previous content. That is very, very important. It will add at the end of the existing data. This is very, very important point where you just need to concentrate. Okay. Append mode will add data to the file at the end of existing data only. That means when you use append mode, you can automatically create a file also. Let me see. I'll give A is equal to open of. I'll just give the file name as da da.txt and the mode is append. There you go. Let me save and click on run. Successfully executed. That means in desktop location, how I am saying desktop? Because my Python file is in desktop only. I should clearly see the file as da. You can clearly see here the file is created. That means with append mode also you can create a file. But the difference is you can directly write some content into it, whether it is string or whatever, and the previous content will not be overridden. Hey everyone, how are you? This is my content, and what do? I just give e dot, again you go for write of B text file, and always make sure that you close the file. There you go. Click on save and execute. You can clearly see the file is executed, and go to the location and see. There you go. Hey everyone, how are you? And why can't I run again and see what happens? Because for the write mode, what happened? The content is overridden, right? For append mode, it will be adding again. You see, hey everyone, how are you? Hey everyone, how are you? 2 times is being added. If you run again by writing some text, just change it. I am good. If you want to see, make sure I am good. And if you want to give any tab space or new line, you can see. So just save and execute this. The content is, the script is executed. Go to the file. You see, you have some tab space here because you gave, and I am good because you gave in quotation. So when you go for append mode, automatically the file, the previous content is being added to the original file. That plays a very, very vital role. This is the difference between W mode and append mode. And there is also one more mode called as create mode. Because before going into read mode, this is very, very important. When you go for create mode, that is given by X. This is one-time generation where you cannot run once again, because create mode will play a very crucial role. That is, it makes sure open the file in exclusive creation mode. That is only one time. Because when you say live and exclusive, what is that? It is not retelecasted, right? I mean, retelecasted will be done after the live is done. But here, exclusive creation mode only one time. If already created, it will throw the error. It will raise error. Let me prove it. Because already we have da and sum.txt, right? I'll take a variable f is equal to open of. I'll give the file name da.txt and I'll change the mode to x. Okay, let me just save and execute this. There you go. What you got here? File exists error. That is what I wanted to show you, because when you go for already creating it, it will throw you an error. So just change this DAA and now you go for executing. And if you execute once again without writing it, it will automatically create an file. You can see in desktop location, the file is created and it's an empty file. And again you can write it. But if you run again, automatically it will throw you an error already existing. So make sure you are correct. You go for f.write of, give the file hey hi. So make sure if you execute this again, automatically it will throw you an error. Why? Already the file is created. You see, you can understand clearly. It's executed. So don't do that. I'll change the name to DAAA and I'll run only one time. That means it is automatically created and you should find the content in the file. There you go, hey hi, because it's only one time creation. So don't make any mistake with the create mode. This is very, very important if you want to go for one time creation. The other thing, which is the final mode of operation, and then we go for plus modes. The other thing is read mode, which is default, where when you go for read mode, it automatically understands or it try to read the content. Read the data from the file which is already existing. Read the data from the file. This is very, very important. Read the data from the file and the file pointer is positioned to the beginning of the file. This is very important. So let me try to give a is equal to open of. What is my file name? Let me give anything. Previously I gave the file as saket.txt, right? Let's see if any content is present in that. Automatically we can read from it. The default is read mode. If you pass the mode or if you don't pass, it is fine. And how do you try to read the content? You just need to print of a dot read. Then automatically you can see the content being printed over there. There you go. Whatever you have, the same content being printed over here. And even if you want some specific characters, I want only 10 characters, you just give in this way. There you go, including space. So in that way, you can specifically read the content from that. So print of a dot read. So that is where you can clearly understand how do you read the content. And see, hi Saket, hope you are doing, because you are giving 2 times, right? So just make sure you either read only one time, because already the read operation is being performed. Either perform anything. Don't do it twice. That's where you can see some empty space over there, because already it is being read over there. So you can give the number of characters. So number of characters you want to read from the file. Number of characters from the file. You just need to be very simple. How many number of characters you want to read from the file. That's where it plays a very vital role when you try to work on it. Okay, so just make it simple, and that is how we have understood how to create a file with the help of write mode, append mode, and create mode. We have also seen how to read content from the file by using R mode. So just make it simple. You can just start practicing on it. You will be understanding, because this is the best advantage of Python. With the help of single line only, you can automatically create a text file.